Graham wants to know, what is the most difficult Aerosmith song to play? Well, I don't know how to play all their songs yet. I mean, they've got a lot of songs. But I would say so far with the stuff that I have been working on, there's one riff in Mama Kin that is crazy hard, at least if he plays it the way that I think it's played. I've never seen a video of him playing it live, so I don't know if he plays it or if he plays it that way. But that one was tough, and now I can play it like nothing, which is amazing, because when I very first heard it, I was like, there's no way. It's like a seven fret like stretch, and it's a pull-off thing. Weird little pull-off, but it's like a 7-fret stretch for a pull-off, and I have never done that. I don't even know if it's the way he does it, because honestly, one of my very first guitar teachers told me, and he was right about this generally, if you're ever learning a song, a guitar song, and it's really, really hard to play, you're probably playing it wrong. Like, it's probably in a different tuning. So and that's very true, especially with like Zeppelin songs and stuff. Like, it's usually not that hard to play physically. It may be hard to learn, and especially depending on your skill level. But at this point in my playing, generally if something's really hard to play, it's either being played by a virtuoso, like Guthrie Govan. Or if it's just being played by like a more normal guitar player, you're probably just not in the right tuning, or they're doing something that, they're using some other method or something that you're just not aware of, and you're making it way too hard on yourself, and they would never do it that way. So I don't know, that could be the case with that particular riff. The other song that actually, the song is really easy. Sweet Emotion. Love that song. Super easy to play the song. The talk box is not that easy for me. That's not like something that comes naturally to me. And then the end solo for this, so that's the very beginning of Sweet Emotion. The very end of that song, it's actually one of the songs that I auditioned for RagDolls with. And that solo, I'm striving to play it note for note, which I don't think a lot of people would do, because it's not the strongest melody. Like, it took me a really long time to even really hear that guitar solo. Like, it wasn't like this. The solo from Walk This Way is so singable, and so many of Joe's solos are very singable, and for me those are much easier to learn because I can process what the melody is and just get it into my fingers easier. This one is just a lot of riffs, really fast riffs in just kind of the blues box. I'm guessing it was just jammed out, and just, a lot of it was just played. And not like written in terms of like a very specific melody. And it was just hard for me to really make sense of what the melody was, or really to even think of it as a melody and not just a jammy section. But I really wanted to learn it note for note. So it took me a while to really get it into my brain and then under my fingers. That is one of my goals, is to get more consistent with playing that solo note for note at the end of the show. Because I do love playing solos note for note. I know not everybody subscribes to that, but for a tribute band, as opposed to a cover band, which cover band to me, like, cover band plays songs from different bands, and you don't have to learn everything note for note, but you do a great job and you get the audience involved, whatever. To me, a tribute band, which is what the RagDolls is a band that plays one artist or one band's music as faithfully as they possibly can, or they add things to improve it as much as they possibly can, but they're very thoughtful. They study what the artist or the band did. Like, for me, I've looked at countless live videos of Joe Perry and looked at, like, how does he play this song live? How does it sound in the studio? What to me are my favorite parts of it? What do I want to bring to the show? The best parts of maybe how he adapts it for the stage, or like, whoa, I really miss this part from the record, the way he adapts it on stage, so I'm going to keep it like the record. That being said, I also bring to my view of what a tribute band should be this is just for me, it's not judging other people's tribute bands, but for me, when I was a kid going to rock concerts and a teenager, I would actually be disappointed if the guitar player never actually played any of the solos the way they sounded on the record, because I tended to love guitar solos that were really melodic and that I could kind of sing along with to myself. And so if they just improvised the whole time, I missed that, because to me it was a really important part of the song, would be like the singer not ever singing the melody. Or worse yet, when I saw Prince, one of the times I saw Prince, one of my favorite artists of all time, period, but he pissed me off once because I went to see his show in Vegas and it was great. We were up really close and we were dancing and it was awesome. But he kept saying, "Now you sing, now you sing, now you sing." And finally I was like, "No, you sing. That's why we paid you all that money. We want to hear you sing." I don't know. That's just me maybe, because everybody else didn't have a problem with it, but I started getting sick of him saying, "Now you sing." No shade on Prince. Like I said, one of my absolute favorite artists, but I was like, dude, I want to hear you sing it. I can hear me sing it any day. I want to hear you. So when I go to see a show and it's one of my favorite guitar players and they're playing one of my favorite songs, I do want to hear the solo that's on the record, because usually it's because it's so freaking great. So because of that, that's one of my biases, I guess. So I really wanted to learn all the Joe Perry solos note for note. And I also, just to be able to know that I can do it makes me feel good, and it gives me a sense of accomplishment as a guitar player, and it was something fun to work on during the pandemic, let's be honest. It gave me goals during the pandemic and it got me through. I learned an hour and a half of Joe Perry solos note for note, and it also just improved my guitar playing and my soloing in general. So that also was great, to really learn another player's solo exactly, and like bending it with the exact same feel. Like if you're far enough along in your own style, it's not going to supplant your style. Like you're still going to play like you, and I still play like me, but every once in a while I'll like throw in something with the feel of Joe Perry, because I've been playing in that style now for a year and a half and I've really studied it. So it brought something really cool to my playing. I'm actually really excited to bring that kind of study to other players' styles. And I think that is something that one of my favorite teachers, Greg Koch, I think that's something that he's done, because he teaches, you can just throw any name of any guitar player out there and he'll just play some of their most iconic riffs. And he is somebody who has really studied especially the blues players, but also rock players, I think too, I'm guessing, but definitely all the blues players that have come before him and mastered their styles, yet his style is completely his own. And that's just another reason why I love Greg and his playing. But anyway, I hope that answers your question about the most difficult Aerosmith song that I've tackled so far. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and always remember, you rock.